Sally that girl in the kitchen. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sally that girl in the kitchen. In today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you how to make Brazilian cheese bread, pão de queijo. They are going to be absolutely delicious, and they are so easy to make, you are not going to believe it. But in today's recipe, I'm going to be making them completely by hand. I'm not going to be using any special equipment, any heavy mixers. You can, of course, choose to do it that way, and you will get a bit of a smoother bread, but I like this version because it's a little more rustic and it gives you just a little more texture, and as it bakes, that yummy cheese just gets all golden all around. So that's how we're going to be making it today. But if you want to use your mixer, then go right ahead. You can do that too. So now, let's get started. For today's recipe, you will need 4 cups of tapioca flour, 1/2 cup of water, 1 1/4 cups of milk, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 beaten eggs, 1 cup shredded mozzarella cheese, and 1 1/2 cups of shredded parmesan cheese. You will also need a large bowl, dry measuring cups, wet measuring cups, some measuring spoons, a couple of baking sheets, parchment paper, non-stick cooking spray, and either a dough whisk, a whisk, or a large fork. You will also need a medium-sized pot and something to stir with. We will be using both the stovetop and the oven for this recipe. The first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 400 degrees. This recipe comes together pretty quickly, so we want our oven ready. Now, grab your pot and place it on a burner. Start adding your ingredients. We are going to add our water, our milk, our oil, and our salt. Once we've added those ingredients, you are going to turn your heat on to medium and begin mixing. We are going to continue to mix until all our ingredients are well combined. Continue mixing as you are looking to form just a slightly thicker mixture. You are quickly going to notice that your mixture starts to thicken up and it will begin to boil. When it does, that's the moment to turn your heat off. Now measure out 4 cups of your tapioca flour into a large bowl. Now carefully pour your hot ingredients into your tapioca flour. Then grab your dough whisk, or large fork and mix the two together. We are trying to bring all of the wet and dry ingredients together and start forming our shaggy dough. Continue stirring until you bring all of your wet and dry ingredients together. Use your whisk to scrape down the sides of the bowl and bring any dry ingredients in so that they can receive the moisture of the wet ingredients and start forming your wonderful dough. This actually has 2 purposes. We are bringing our dough together, and we are also gently cooling that hot mixture that we poured in because we don't want it too hot for when we're ready to add our eggs. Now that you've brought together a shaggy dough, use your hands to clean off any dough that may have stuck to your dough whisk. Now gently touch your dough to make sure that it is not too hot. It should just be slightly warm to the touch. If it still feels a bit too hot, let it cool a bit. Now grab your beaten eggs and pour in about half of your mixture. Use your whisk to incorporate the egg into the shaggy dough. Once you've combined the first half of the beaten eggs, go ahead and pour in the rest. Continue to mix until you've combined all of your beaten egg into your shaggy dough. So now it's time to add our cheeses. Go ahead and pour in all of your shredded Parmesan cheese, and right on top of that, pour in your shredded mozzarella cheese. Then, using your whisk, go ahead and combine them. Notice how I use my whisk to gently fold the cheeses in. The idea is not to mash everything up. It is to combine the ingredients and bring them together. So try to be gentle as you fold your cheeses in. Once you have incorporated your cheeses into the mixture, then clean off whatever mixture is stuck onto your dough whisk. Then gently use your hands to finish bringing your dough together. We are not kneading the dough. We are just gently bringing our dough together to form a sticky but cohesive ball of dough. So now, prepare 2 baking trays with some parchment paper and spray them with non-stick cooking spray. Now grab a bowl and fill it with some room temperature water. The water bowl is for wetting our fingers as we grab our dough to form our Brazilian cheese breads. We are going to pinch off about a ball, I'd say the size of maybe a golf ball, and we are going to place it on our sprayed parchment paper. Every time we are going to form another ball, we will first wet our fingers before grabbing the dough. This will help us form the dough ball, and it'll also keep the dough from sticking to our fingers as we gently form our balls. Repeat this process over and over, remembering to leave some space between our Brazilian cheese breads to give them room to grow just a bit in the oven. This is the reason we need 2 trays, because this recipe will make about 28 cheese breads. So you're going to need a couple of nicely sized trays to make sure that all of your cheese breads have plenty of room. So now that you've formed all of your cheese breads, they are ready to be placed in the oven. Make sure you put them on a center rack and set a 20-minute timer. That's all it's going to take for these cheese breads to become golden and delicious. So now that 20 minutes have passed, they are ready to be taken out of the oven. I like to bake 1 tray at a time because that way they get even heat distribution all the way around each of the yummy breads. Now look at how beautiful they look. They are absolutely delicious and they smell incredible. Notice they have those golden puffy little bits of cheese all around them. That's what I was talking about. When you make them by hand, you get those yummy puffy little bits of cheese everywhere. So now remove your Brazilian cheese breads from your trays and place them onto a cooling rack to let them cool down just a little bit before you indulge. They are amazing, and they are so good when they are still slightly warm. Once they've cooled down enough, place them on a tray or in a basket to serve. So now let's break into one of these to show you what the inside looks like. Look at that incredible cheesy pull. That is absolutely delicious. Notice how even the bottoms get yummy and golden. They look and taste incredible. Let's do that once again. Wow, look at that cheese pull. You are going to love these. So how easy was that? These are absolutely delicious, and They smell incredible and they have that incredible, just chewy texture. They are absolutely incredible. You are going to love them. You have to try this recipe. If you like today's recipe, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And of course, remember to subscribe to my channel for so many upcoming recipes I have planned for you. See you next time. Sally, that girl in the kitchen.